I am now at the Betty O'Neill mine. Going up this mountain is where all the mines are located, and we have a dynamite storage room to check out right now. We'll go that way and check that out in a second. And this was really a significant operation for a couple of years. A little bit of history on this location. Silver deposits were found around 1881, and that's really what sprung this operation into production. On October 31st, a boiler explosion happened which killed one person and wiped out a building. Production began decreasing in the 1930s, and in 1932 the post office closed, which significantly decreased the population after the post office closed, because that kind of signified the town was coming to an end. Pretty much when the post office closed, this whole boom town and this whole operation, which was a whole boom because they found tons of silver deposits and everyone rushed over and started mining. Once the post office closed in the 1930s, that's when things really began to close down and production began to decrease. In the 1880s it was active as well. In the 1880s to 1890s was its boom years. It began being active again in the 1920s up to the 30s when it was purchased by another company. So that's the history, and let's get into it. Let's check out this dynamite storage room first, then we'll keep on going. Which it's a huge dynamite storage room. Going to the top of it, you could see a ventilation pipe. It's made out of cement. A lot of the small operations would often use rock and stack up rock, then put sand and rock whatnot over it and gravel. So a great way you can know if an operation is company owned, really they had a lot of money, is if they cemented dynamite storage rooms, because not all of them did that. Look for snakes. This type of place they love to hang out. No snakes. Okay, I hope not. We have a bunch of ore sampling bags. So we really used this as a storage room in later years. This is where they stored all the ore samplings, and unfortunately, graffiti has gotten to this place, which means it is rather well known. The top of the roof is burnt, which means someone decided to start a fire inside here, which is very stupid. What a shame. So that was the dynamite room. Very neat. And let's continue. Let's go down there real quick, then we'll make our way up toward the mountain. There's a ton to check out up there as well. Looking on this side, we have a massive mill operation. Possibly one of the biggest mills I've ever seen. Now we can't get right up to it because it is private property, although it's still neat to see. It does make sense why they would close it off. This is a huge liability. This huge mill is just about to fall down. It's all tilted on its side. We have the remnants of the rest of the mill, which, don't quote me on this, but I have heard that arsonists have destroyed this part of the mill. They burnt it down. I'm not sure on that. I just heard that from one source, so I can't say if it's confirmed or not. This is another part of the mill operation. There really isn't much, so I'm not going to spend too long at this part, but I just want to see the remnants. Really nothing standing. It really is a picture perfect operation. Just looking at that building, how it's tilted. I hope it's coming out on video how surreal this location is. Just looking at the size of that mill. All the waste rock on that side, which on that side there's other stuff to check out. So we'll see that in a second. Going this way. Want to see this will really give us a perspective, because this is the bottom of the mill, so we're looking from the bottom to the top. You could see the multiple levels, just all the wood rotting away. And inspecting it, I was told this was all burnt down, but looking at the wood and the cement, if it was burnt, it would be blackened. Cement would be stained black. I've seen plenty of places where arson happened and they never look like this. Perhaps they were referring to a different area, but they did specify the mill, and this is the mill. Really something. On this side we have what I assume was a workshop. Not a lot remains of it now. And then looking this way, looking back at the mill, we have a waste rock pile, the remains of a building. And then going this way, this has been fenced off, but this is a couple of old mines. Open shaft right there. Possibly a hoist next to it, the remnants of one. Which, looking at this, it does look like a very dangerous mine. Just look at the material that it's made out of. The top level is just that soft sand, no rock, nothing like that. So probably just standing next to it would give way. Not a mine I would ever want to go in. And then continuing up, that's really where we have the big waste rock piles. So let's keep going. I have now arrived at the official mine site of the Betty O'Neill mine. Looking up is a couple of waste rock piles. An ore bin in the distance. And this is the Betty O'Neill mine. This big open shaft. Hoist would have sat there. Have some water pipes I could see, old ones. Then we have this boiler, generator, whatnot, and whatever else there is. Let me know if you know any of this other equipment that there is up here. Unfortunately, looking at the wood, it looks like it was burnt, which means arsonists have come up to this location too. Which is quite a shame. Just look at the size of these wheels too. Looking back at the Betty O'Neill mine. Wonder how long it's been since someone's been in there. Then looking up this way, we have an ore bin to check out. An ore bin that is in absolute terrible condition. The ore chutes are separated from the rest of it. Then looking up, a lot of it's just falling apart. We have the cross ties where the ore carts used to go. And we even have a power line which dead ends at this spot. The ore bin is right on the other side of this waste rock. And we have the remnants of another building. Just looking around. And then going up this way, a couple waste rock piles. There's some mines up that way, but I assume they're closed off, so not gonna bother with them. Another building right there. And there is a mine right by us, or a dynamite storage room. To me, it looks like a dynamite storage room. So let's go up there real quick. Coming up to the portal of a Clapse mine. Not getting in that one. The most interesting thing about the Betty O'Neill mine is the mill that's below that we checked out in the beginning. The history is a significant thing as well. That mill is actually a very photographed building. I've seen it quite a few times on the internet. This is a very popular place for people to come up, especially traveling in the area. I know I've seen quite a few other people. When I was up yesterday, I didn't film yesterday, but I was up photographing that mill yesterday, and I've met a couple of locals from the area. So it's a pretty well-known place. That's why I didn't spend too much time here, because I didn't want to photograph a place that's already well-known by just about everyone. So thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and hope you enjoyed the video.